some proper gnarly bits on this side. I'm going to have a go at taking off all the most horrible bits, and then we'll see what's left. The trouble with this loft insulation type stuff is that once the outside wood has stopped being weatherproof and started letting the water in, this stuff then absorbs that water, and well, it stops being insulating for a start, but it also accelerates the rot, so this compounds the issue. Fortunately, the framework's not too bad, it's salvageable. As before, then I've taken out all the insulation. I've knocked out any really horrible wood. I'm putting a new bit down here. I'm going to put a new bit here, down this bit. But before I do that, I'm just going over everything with some more of the wood preservative. So strangely, it's only this bottom half of this panel on this wall that's really bad. So I'm presuming that was from its previous location. Okay, all cleaned up. It's all covered in wood preservative. Got the fresh wood in place. It's got a bit of structure to it now, enough that I can hammer on some boards. And like I said, I've left all the insulation out, and I'll sort that out later on from the inside. I've got a bunch of these boards that I salvaged off the south side. I was working on that because obviously I've replaced all of those. I'm just going to work down with these and then some new wood if necessary. Now I've finished the wall on that side and nailed on all the last of the big pieces of wood that I need. I can use all the offcuts and fill in these little bits here. So there, up there, that one, and up here. This stack here, I chopped off the end of planks that went on here, and therefore this bit, I put those on first. Super duper. I've now got all the wood in place. So I've replaced all the bits of frame that needed replacing, and I've done all the cladding. What I've got to do next is finish nailing it. So everything's nailed in place, but only with a minimal amount of nails. I'm going to go over it now with these nails and finish that off. Obviously there's no windows in it yet, but once I've nailed it, I'm then going to get on a coat of bitumen, I think. I might as well do that before I put the windows in. That's the way to go. It's supposed to be sunny today, although it's not at the moment, but it's, yeah, should be getting sunnier, and that'll be ideal for drying off the bitumen. Anyway, nailing first. Time to get some bitumen on. Now the warmer the bitumen is, the easier it goes on, but I'm going to thin it down anyway, because then it goes on better onto bare wood like this, and here where the paint's gone. So the thin down coat will be kind of like a primer, and then I'll do another thicker coat over the top of that, and that'll be that. So bitumen is a petroleum product. When you get crude oil out of the ground, you refine it into various things that are then useful. Right at the top end you have petrol, and then you have diesel, which is a bit thicker, then you have oil. Right down the bottom you have this goop. But that means you can thin it out with anything else that's petroleum based, such as white spirit. The nice thing about bitumen is just before it dries, once it starts to tack off, you can then just drag the brush over it like I was doing just there, and any drips that have formed you can just brush them in and they'll stay brushed in. It's quite a forgiving coating to work with compared to a lot of paints that I'm used to using. Oh, it's quite a satisfying job actually. That's just the first coat then. It's going to dry really quickly with the sun on it, so after lunch I'll be back on it and do the second and final coat. And by then the bitumen in the tub will have warmed up, and I'll hardly need to thin it down for the second coat. I've had lunch, it's an hour or so later. I'm going to get on with the second and final coat. It's still nice and sunny, so it's perfect time for it. Down here you might be able to see that it looks quite matte at the moment. When I finish with the second coat, the whole of this side of the cabin is going to look dead shiny. Like I said before, that super shiny gloss finish goes away quite quickly with sunlight on it, and it'll all go matte black in time. I'll get that loose better. Tacky, almost touch dry. And what I'd like to do is to move on to the windows, but according to the forecast this is the last sunny day or last warm day for quite a few days, so instead of doing the windows I'm going to carry on painting on the bitumen around the back there. The jet wash did most of the prep for me. It's just a bit of tidying up. Cool. Before I can set the windows in place, you need something to mount onto. I've cut these bits of, I think this is roofing batten, I've cut these down for the bottom bits. There. And this is necessary because this is the outside of the frame and there's this recess here all the way around. You see on the side of this one where the original screws came through the frame, so I'm going to have a batten of wood here and then reuse the, well, not these screws, but you reuse these holes again and it'll come through here, through the batten and into the frame up there. Now it really is just a case of scratching around trying to find some bits of wood for this. I do have some planks that I could rip down using the table saw, but the table saw is currently buried under a load of crap, so this is one I've actually got to play with. So I've got some of these, like I say, I think these are roofing battens, and I've actually previously ripped some of them down. So I'm hoping these bits, the cut down ones, will do for the uprights on the sides. We'll sit into that quite snugly, I think. Well, we'll find out in a bit. I've got the difference between the gap here and the width of the inside of this frame, so from that point there to that point there, not the outside here, the inside bit, is 42 mil. So that means a 21 mil strip down each side. That's about 20. So yeah, if it works, it's going to be very snug. Well, I didn't expect that to fit. I haven't actually got any screws in. Well, that went more smoothly than I anticipated, in fairness. Yeah, it's very good. Well, that's better. Starting to look like a building again. Whew. Excellent. Obviously it's going to need some glass, but yeah, the hard work is over. Well, on the windows anyway. That's almost it then on the exterior of the cabin. The interior is going to have to wait really until I can go and buy some supplies. Primarily I need plywood for lining it out. So that's going to have to wait a bit. In the meantime I can have a go at cutting glass, which will be interesting because I haven't done that for a while. But I do have some glass to play with. The glass that I took out of here, I can cut that up. Try cutting it up. Other than that, I think that might do for now. Stay safe everyone. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.